Long ago, in a time when newlyweds were still finding their footing in the world, a young man turned to his bride with earnest determination. "My love," he began, "allow me to venture forth in search of employment. I yearn to secure our livelihood." His wife, her heart brimming with understanding, granted him her blessing to embark on this quest. The following day, he embarked on a journey that would take him far from the comforts of his home. In a grand mansion nestled amidst opulent surroundings, he sought an audience with a wealthy man in need of assistance. Fortune smiled upon him, as he was soon offered employment, and he commenced his duties on the morrow. In a humble pact, he agreed to receive a portion of his earnings up front, while the remainder would accrue, patiently awaiting his eventual return. Years passed like pages of a forgotten diary, and the diligent young man toiled tirelessly for his benevolent master, 5 years to be precise. Then, one day, his heart heavy with longing, he approached his master and requested leave to visit his family. He implored his master to settle the balance of his earnings, allowing him to depart on the following morn. His master, a shrewd and sagacious figure, agreed to this arrangement and scheduled the payment for the evening meal, readying himself to bid farewell to his devoted employee. As they convened after the evening repast, with the earnings resting between them, the master posed a cryptic proposition. "Before I release your earnings," he began, "I possess 3 valuable pieces of counsel. You must choose between your earnings or these secrets, for you may have only one." The young man deliberated earnestly, but before he could reach a conclusion, his master intervened with wisdom, saying, "Take the night to ponder. Let us reconvene in the morning with your decision." That night, sleep eluded the young man as he grappled with the weight of his dilemma. He yearned to uncover the enigmatic secrets, perhaps the key to his master's immense wealth. Yet, his earnings held the promise of elevating his family's status. The dawn broke, and his decision crystallized like the morning sun. In their morning rendezvous, his master inquired, "Have you reached your decision?" The young man met his gaze, hesitated for but a fleeting moment, and proclaimed, "Yes, I have chosen." With bated breath, the master prompted, "What is your choice?" The young man lifted his gaze and asserted, "Grant me the 3 secret counsels." The master, with a nod of approval, revealed the coveted wisdom. 1. Never take a shortcut. 2. Never succumb to curiosity. 3. Never act in the heat of anger. Before bidding his apprentice farewell, the master added a final gift, a loaf of bread. "Take this," he advised, "but do not open it on your journey. Share it with your wife upon your return." With the 3 secrets and the loaf of bread in hand, the young man embarked on his homeward journey, traversing distant lands and enduring hardships along the way. As twilight descended one fateful afternoon, he encountered a crossroads, where a newly constructed shortcut beckoned. 2 fellow travelers extolled its virtues, claiming it would have the journey. Yet, he remembered the first counsel, never take a shortcut, and chose the path of patience, continuing his arduous trek along the ridge. As he continued his journey along the winding ridges of the longer road, fate introduced him to an old man whose words would prove to be a pivotal turning point in his travels. The wise elder, casting an appraising eye upon the young traveler, imparted his sagely wisdom, "Young man, you are truly fortunate today. Had you chosen the new shortcut road, peril would have shadowed your path, for brigands and murderers haunt the bridge, preying upon unsuspecting travelers. That treacherous path has fallen into disuse, a forsaken route where danger lurks at every corner." Hours passed, and night descended upon him. In the distance, he spied a welcoming light emanating from a nearby house. Seeking refuge, he knocked upon its door and was graciously received. In the dead of night, he was awakened by eerie, desperate cries from outside. His curiosity piqued, he moved to investigate but halted as the second counsel echoed in his mind, "Never be curious." He returned to his slumber, foregoing the allure of the mysterious sounds. At dawn, the household servant revealed the chilling truth: the cries had come from the owner, possessed by malevolent spirits, who slaughtered those who ventured near. The young man's wisdom had saved him once more. Resuming his journey, he neared his home as night descended. Peering through a window, he spied his wife playing with a child. Confusion and anger coursed through him. How could she bear a child 5 years after his departure? Suppressing his rage, he approached the door but recalled the third counsel: never act in anger. He retreated into the shadows, nursing his emotions for hours. When composure returned, he knocked gently. The door opened, and his wife embraced him with joy. His questions about the child lingered, but she explained that she had given birth shortly after his departure. When he left, the child was an infant, but now, the boy's resemblance to him was striking. As they settled back into their life together, the wife inquired about her husband's journey. He confessed that he had exchanged his earnings for 3 invaluable pieces of advice. With disappointment, he admitted that all he had to show for 5 years of labor was a single loaf of bread. Her disappointment was palpable as she went to prepare tea, slicing the loaf to accompany it. As she cut the bread, she discovered a hidden treasure: his earnings, untouched and intact. The young man's wisdom, gleaned from his master's secrets, had guided him through treacherous paths and life's unpredictability, ultimately leading him back to the warm embrace of his family. Now, dear reader, what would you have done differently if you were in their shoes? Share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below.